Surah Al-Anbiya, section 3-17. And indeed, to Moses and Aaron we gave the criterion and a light and a reminder for those who fear their Lord in the unseen, who tremble with fear of the hour, and who are under Allah's protection. This Quran is indeed a blessed reminder that we have revealed. So are you among those who deny it and prevent its recognition? And indeed, we had given Abraham his guidance before, and we were well aware of him. When Abraham said to his father and his people, "What are these statues to which you are devoted?" They said, we found our forefathers worshipping them. Abraham said, "Indeed, you and your forefathers are in manifest big error." They said, "Have you brought us the truth, or are you one of those who jest?" Abraham said, "On the contrary, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, who created them from nothing. And I am one of those who bear witness to this. I swear by Allah that after you have turned your backs and gone, I will surely devise a plan against your idols." Then he broke them into pieces, all except their largest, so that they might turn to it for answers. The people said, "Who has done this to our gods? Surely it is he." They said, "He is definitely one of those who do wrong to themselves." Some said, "We heard a young man mentioning them. He is called Abraham." They said, "Then bring him before the eyes of the people, so that they may bear witness." They asked, "O Abraham, did you do this to our gods?" Abraham replied, "No, it was this largest one who did it. Ask them if they can speak." Then they turned to their own consciences. They said, "Indeed, you are the ones who are wrong, doing harm to yourselves." Then they turned back to their own thoughts. They said, "You know well that these cannot speak." Abraham said, "Then do you worship things other than Allah that cannot benefit you in any way? And do you worship things that do not harm you? Woe to you, and to what you worship besides Allah. Will you not then understand?" He said. His people said, "If you are going to do something, then burn him, throw him into the fire, and cause him distress. And help your gods," they said. We said, Oh, fire, be cool and safe for Abraham." And they wanted to plot against him, but we made them the losers. We made them the ones who suffered loss and distress. And we saved Abraham and Lot to a land with blessings for all the worlds. And we granted him Isaac, and as an additional gift, Jacob. And we made all of them righteous people. And we made them leaders guiding by our command. And we bestowed upon them good things. We revealed to them the establishment of prayer, supporting financially and mentally, maintaining institutions that enlighten society, giving alms, spreading and upholding God's religion, and paying the tax that believers sincerely give as a debt of faith and duty of servitude for the establishment of prayer. And they were only those who worshipped us. And Lot we gave him wisdom and knowledge. We saved him from the city that committed vile deeds. Indeed, they were a wicked society. They were people who strayed from the right path, and we enveloped Lot in our mercy. Indeed, he is among the righteous. And Noah, when he had called out before, and we responded to him, then we saved him and his family, his close ones, and the believers from great distress. and we helped him against the society that denied our signs. Indeed, they were a wicked society, so we drowned them all in the water. And David and Solomon, when they were judging concerning the field into which the sheep of the people had strayed by night, they were passing judgment about the crops. And we were aware of the laws of the people. Then we made Solomon understand it thoroughly. And we gave all of them wisdom and knowledge. We subjected the mountains and the birds to glorify Allah along with David. We created them within measures for human benefit. And we are the doers. And we taught him the making of armor for you to protect you from your harm. So, are you among those who repay the blessings given to you? And to Solomon we subjected the wind, a stormy wind flowing by his command, towards the land in which we had placed abundance. And we are the all-knowing. And we also subjected the devils, who dived for him and did other work besides that. And we to them, we sent protectors for Moses, Aaron, Abraham, Lot, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, David, and Solomon. And Job, when he called out to his Lord, "Indeed, harm has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." And we responded to him. Then we removed the harmful things from him, and we gave him his family, his relatives, and the like of them, with them as a mercy from us, and a reminder for those who worship. And Ishmael, Idris, and Dhul-Kifl were all among those who were patient. We admitted them into our mercy. Indeed, they were among the righteous. And the man of the fish, the one with the sword, the Ninevite, when he went off in anger, thinking that we would not decree anything upon him, then he called out in the darkness, "There is no deity except you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I have been among the wrongdoers, those who act to their own detriment." Then we responded to him and rescued him from distress and sorrow, and thus do we save the believers. And Zechariah, when he called to his Lord, "My Lord, do not leave me alone, for you are the best of inheritors." So we responded to him and granted him John. And we made his wife suitable for him, making her capable of bearing children. Indeed, they used to hasten to good deeds and supplicate to us in hope and fear. And they were humble before us. And she, the woman who guarded her chastity carefully. Thus we informed her with our secure knowledge. And we made her and her son a sign for the worlds. Indeed, this is your community, a single community. And I am your Lord. So worship me. Yet they divided their affair among themselves into factions. All of them will return to us. So, whoever does righteous deeds while believing, his effort will not be denied. Indeed, we are recording it. And a prohibition is placed upon a city that we have destroyed. Indeed, they will not return, until when the barrier is opened and they swiftly descend from every high place. And when the true promise approaches, the eyes of those who disbelieved, those who knowingly rejected Allah's divinity and your Lord, will be fixed in horror. Woe to us! Indeed, we were in ignorance and heedlessness of this. In fact, we were wrongdoers, acting to our own detriment. Certainly you and those you worship besides Allah are the fuel of hell. You are its fuel. You will enter there. If the things worshipped besides Allah were gods, they would not enter there. and they will all remain there forever. There they have a groaning. They would not hear anything there. Indeed, those who have been prepared with the best from us, they are the ones who have been kept away from hell. They do not hear the roar of hell. They remain eternally in what their souls desire. The greatest fear does not grieve them, and the messengers remind them, this is your promised day. Netim 320. When we roll up the sky, like the rolling of scrolls for the books as we began the first creation, we will repeat it as a promise from us. Indeed, we are doers. Netim 321. And surely we have sent an admonition after the Torah, and in the Psalms without a doubt upon the earth. Only my righteous servants shall inherit it. Indeed, in the Quran, there is certainly a conveyed message for a worshipping community. We have sent you only as a mercy to the worlds. Say, it is revealed to me that your God is only one God. So are you Muslims? Yet if they turn away, I have conveyed to you all, equally and impartially, and I do not know whether what you are promised is near or far. Indeed, Allah knows what is openly spoken. He also knows what you conceal. And perhaps this delay is to test you and to grant you benefit for a time. I do not know. Say, our Lord will judge between us with truth, and our Lord is Allah, who is exceedingly merciful to all living beings He has created in the world. He is the one whose help is sought over your blessings. Surah Al-Mu'minun, Meccan period. Verse 32. Indeed, the believers maintained their stance and achieved victory. They are those who are unpretentious and sincere in their arts, in providing financial and intellectual support, and in their efforts to enlighten society. And they are those who keep their distance from idle things. And they are those who give zakat, the tax given sincerely as a debt of faith and duty of servitude by the believers, for the spread and maintenance of Allah's religion and the establishment of prayer. And they are those who guard their chastity, except with their spouses or those whom their right hands possess, for they are not to be blamed for this. But those who seek beyond that, they are indeed the transgressors. And they are those who are faithful to their trusts and covenants. And they are those who maintain their prayers, supporting institutions financially and mentally, and enlightening the community. They are the true inheritors of the paradise of Firdaus, where they will dwell forever. Netim 3. And indeed, we created man from a chosen clay. Then we made him a drop of fluid in a secure resting place. Then we transformed that drop into an embryo. Then we transformed that embryo into a piece of flesh. Then we made that piece of flesh into bones. Then we clothed the bones with flesh. Then we developed him into another creation. So blessed is Allah, the best of creators. Indeed, Allah, the best of creators, is so generous. Then indeed, after that, you will surely die. Then indeed, on the day of resurrection, you will be resurrected. 9. 324. And we have certainly created above you 7 paths. And we are not unaware, indifferent, or heedless of creation. And we sent down water from the sky in a measured amount, and we settled it in the earth. And indeed, we are certainly able to take it away. Then, through it, we produced gardens of date palms and grapes for you. From these there are many fruits for you, and you eat from them. And from Turusena, emerging from the southeastern Taurus mountains, we brought forth an oil-producing tree, which serves as a relish for those who eat. In the four-legged, two-hoofed, cud-chewing, and grass-eating animals, there is certainly a lesson for you. We give you drink from what is in their bellies. There are also various benefits for you in them, and you eat from them, on them, and you are carried and loaded on ships. Indeed, we sent Noah to his people, and he said, O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than him. Will you not then seek protection under Allah's guidance? He said. Then the disbelieving leaders of his people, who knowingly rejected Allah's divinity and lordship, said, This is nothing but a man like yourselves. He wants to gain superiority over you. If Allah had willed, he would have certainly sent down angels. We have not heard of this among our forefathers. He is merely a man possessed by madness. So, wait for him with hope for a while, they said. Noah said, My Lord, help me against their denial of me. Then we inspired him, construct the ark under our watchful eye and according to our revelation. Then when our command comes and the oven gushes forth, when it boils over, take pairs of every species, and also your family, except those against whom the word has already gone forth, and the believers, into the ark. Do not plead with me concerning those who have wronged themselves by associating partners with me. Indeed, they are to be drowned. They will certainly be drowned in the water. Then when you and those with you have settled on the ark, say, All praise is due to Allah, who has saved us from the wrongdoing people who associated partners with him. Do not praise anyone else. And my Lord, let me land in a blessed place, and grant me abundant blessings. We revealed, say, You are the best of those who bring down and bestow gifts. Indeed, in this there are certainly some signs and indicators, and indeed we are surely the testers. Then after them we created another generation. Then among them worship Allah, for you have no deity other than him. Will you not then seek protection under Allah's guidance, saying, We sent a messenger from among themselves to warn them. And the messenger's community disbelieved, knowingly rejected Allah's divinity and lordship, and denied the reaching of the hereafter. And these are the affluent individuals to whom we granted prosperity in this simple worldly life. He is merely a human like you. He eats from what you eat and drinks from what you drink. And if you obey a human like yourselves, then surely you will be among the losers. Does he truly promise you that when you have died and become dust and bones, you will be brought forth? What you are threatened with is something that will never happen. There is only falsum, our simple worldly life. We die, we live, and we will not be resurrected. They said, The messenger is just a man who fabricates lies about Allah, and we do not believe him. The messenger said, My Lord, help me against their denial of me. Allah said, In just a little while, then they will certainly be regretful. Then the cry seized them with justice. Thus we made them as debris. So away with the people who wrongfully associate partners and act to their own detriment. And we created other generations after them. No community can advance its appointed time, nor can they delay it. Then we sent our messengers in succession. Whenever a messenger came to a community, they denied him. So we made them follow one another and turned them into stories. So away with the people who do not believe, or to hell. Then we sent Moses and his brother Aaron with our signs, tokens, and clear authority to Pharaoh and his chiefs, making them messengers. But they were arrogant and became a haughty people. Then, while the communities of these two people worship us, will we believe in these two people who are like us? They said. So they denied them, and they became among those who were destroyed. And, indeed, we gave Moses the book so that they might be guided to the right path. And we made the son of Mary and his mother a sign, and we settled them on a high ground with a place of rest and flowing water. O messengers, eat from the good, pure, and beneficial things, and do righteous deeds. Indeed, I am well aware of what you do. And indeed, this is your community, a single community. And I am your Lord, so take refuge under my protection. Then the people divided their affairs among themselves into factions. Each group rejoices in what it has. So, leave them in their confusion for a time. Do they think that, by giving them wealth and sons, we are hastening to them good things? Quite the opposite. They do not perceive the reality of the situation. Indeed, those who tremble with fear from being distant from their Lord, due to their deep admiration and respect for him, those who believe in the signs of their Lord, those who do not associate partners with their Lord, and those who, without a doubt, are the ones who turn to their Lord, giving what they give, with hearts trembling, they are the ones who race towards goodness and are the forerunners in good deeds. Necim 37. And we do not burden any soul beyond its capacity, with anything outside its ability. With us, there is a book that speaks the truth, and they will not be wronged. On the contrary, their hearts are covered regarding this matter, and they have some lesser evil deeds that they engage in. They persist. Eventually, when we seize those who are in comfort with punishment, they immediately cry out. Do not cry out today. Surely you will not receive help from us. Surely our signs are recited to you, yet you turn away arrogantly and utter nonsense at night. Necim 28. Have they not reflected on the Quran? Or has something come to them that did not come to their ancestors before? Or did they not recognize their messengers, so they are denying the messenger who has come to them? Or is there some madness in him? They say, on the contrary, their messengers have brought them the truth. But most of them are averse to the truth. And if the truth had followed their desires, surely the heavens, the earth, and all who are in them would have been corrupted. In fact, we have brought them their honor and their admonitions. Yet they are the ones who distance themselves from their own honor and admonitions. Or are you asking them for a tribute? Indeed, the provision from your Lord is better, and your Lord is the best of providers. And surely you are indeed calling them to a straight path. But those who do not believe in the hereafter are certainly the ones who deviate from this path. And if we had shown mercy to them and removed the distress they are in, they would certainly persist in their transgression, blindly obstinate. And, indeed, we have seized them with a minor punishment. Yet they did not humble themselves to their Lord, nor did they show any submission to Allah, until we opened upon them a gate of severe punishment, and suddenly they were in despair there. And Allah is the one who created for you hearing, sight, and hearts. How little you give thanks for the blessings you have been given. And Allah is the one who has spread you out on the earth and multiplied you. And to Him alone you will be gathered. And Allah gives life and causes death. The alternation of night and day is also only by His command. Do you still not use your reason? Surah Al-Mu'minun verse 29. In fact, they said something similar to what the previous one said. They said, when we have died and become dust and bones, will we indeed be resurrected? Indeed, we and our forefathers were warned about this before. They said, this is nothing but tales of the ancients. Say that, if you know, to whom does this earth and all who are in it belong? They will say, they belong to Allah. Then, will you not take heed? Say, who is the Lord of the 7 heavens, and the Lord of the great throne? They will say, they belong to Allah. Then, will you not seek protection under Allah's care? Say that, if you know, who holds the ownership and governance of everything, in whose hand is the dominion of all things, and who protects all, yet who is not protected themselves. They will say, they belong to Allah. Then, how are you deluded? Say, indeed, we have brought them the truth, but they are certainly liars. Naim 300. Allah has not taken a child. There is no deity alongside Him. Otherwise, each deity would have taken away what it created, and they would have certainly tried to dominate one another. Allah, who knows the unseen, the unheard, the unfelt, and the manifest, is free from what they attribute to Him. He is far above what they would associate with Him. Say, my Lord, if you should show me that with which they are threatened, my Lord, then do not place me among the wrongdoing people who associate partners with you. And indeed, we are able to show you what we have promised them. Repel evil with what is best. We are well aware of what they attribute. And say, O my Lord, I seek refuge in you from the incitements of the devils. And my Lord, I seek refuge in you from their presence with me. Finally, when death comes to one of them, he says, my Lord, send me back so that I may do righteous deeds in what I left behind. Certainly not as he thinks. This is undoubtedly a word he has spoken. There is a barrier behind them until the day they are resurrected. When the trumpet is blown, on that day there will be no kinship ties among them. No one will be able to ask anything from anyone. Thus, those whose scales are heavy are the ones who have truly succeeded. And those whose scales are light, they have wronged themselves. They will dwell in hell eternally. There, the fire will lick their faces while they grin with their teeth exposed. Were my verses not recited to you? And did you deny them? They said, our Lord, our transgression overcame us, and we became a misguided people. Our Lord, take us out of here. If we return to the same, then indeed we are truly wrongdoers, acting to our own detriment. Allah said, remain there and do not speak to me. Indeed, among my servants is a group who said, our Lord, we have believed so forgive us and have mercy on us. You are the best of the merciful, they were saying. Yet you took them in mockery. Eventually they caused you to forget my mention and praise. And you were laughing at them. Indeed, today I have rewarded them for their patience. They are truly the successful ones. Allah said, how many years did you remain on earth? In number of years. They said, we remained a day or part of a day. Ask those who keep count, they said. Allah said, you stayed only a little while. If only you had known, he said. Star 393. So, did you think that we created you aimlessly and that you would not be returned to us? Indeed, the true owner, the ruler, is Allah the Most High. There is no deity except Him. He is the Lord of the Honorable, the greatest seat of authority. Whoever invokes another deity alongside Allah without any evidence, let him know that his reckoning is only with my Lord. Indeed, the disbelievers, those who knowingly reject the divinity and lordship of Allah, cannot maintain their position, nor can they achieve victory. Verse 334. And say, my Lord, forgive and have mercy, and you are the best of the merciful. Surah Sajda, Mekkan period. Verse 335. Alif, Lam, Mim. The revelation of this book, in which there is no doubt, is from the Lord of the worlds. Or did they invent it themselves? They say, on the contrary, the Quran is the truth from your Lord, so that you may warn a people to whom no warner has come before you, so they may be guided to the right path. Verse 336. Allah is the one who created the heavens, the earth, and everything between them in 6 stages, and then established himself on the greatest throne. Apart from him, you have no helper, guide, protector, close ally, or intercessor. Will you not? Then reflect and take heed. Allah regulates the systems from the heavens to the earth, and then these systems ascend to him in a day whose measure is 1,000 years of what you count. It returns, the system collapses, deteriorates. Indeed, Allah is the knower of the visible and the invisible, the past and the future. He is the most exalted, the most powerful, the most honorable, the one who cannot be defeated, the absolute victor, and the possessor of vast mercy. He is the one who perfects everything. He creates and begins the creation of man from clay. Then he made his progeny from an essence, a humble fluid. Then he fashioned him and gave him form, and imparted knowledge to him. He created for you hearing, sight, and hearts. How little you give thanks for the blessings you have. Neçim, 337. And they say, when we have disappeared into the earth, will we indeed be created anew? They said this, but in fact, they are those who knowingly reject and disbelieve in meeting their Lord and standing in his presence. Say, the angel of death, who has been assigned to you, will take your souls. He will remind you of what you did in the past and what you failed to do. Then you will be returned to your Lord. The guilty, Durtam, will stand before their Lord with their heads bowed, saying, O our Lord, we have seen and heard. Now send us back so that we may do righteous deeds. If only you could see them, saying, we now believe with certainty. And if we had willed, we could have given every soul its guidance. But the word from me has come true. I will surely fill hell with jinn and mankind altogether, from the known and unknown, past and future. So, taste the punishment for having forgotten and neglected the meeting of this day. Indeed, we have punished, taste, the eternal punishment for what you have done. Nečim, Tirchekto. Truly only those who, when reminded of our signs, prostrate in submission and glorify their Lord without arrogance, believe in them, their sides move away from their resting places. They do not indulge in pleasures. They pray to their Lord in fear and hope and spend from what we have provided them in the way of Allah. They provide for the sustenance of others, especially their close ones. Nečim, 30. Indeed, a person does not know the hidden things that will bring joy to the eyes as a reward for what they have done for themselves. So, is a believer like someone who has gone astray? These are not the same one who has believed and done deeds aimed at correction. As for those people, the gardens of shelter, as a hospitality for what they have done, are only for them. And as for those who have gone astray, their destination is the fire. Every time they wish to escape, they will be turned back there. And it will be said to them, taste the punishment of the fire which you used to deny. Without a doubt, they will return. We will make them taste a lesser punishment, the nearest punishment, so that they might act in accordance with God's principles. And who is more wrong, and acts to their own detriment, than the one who is reminded with the signs of their Lord, and then turns away from them? Indeed, we are the ones who capture and punish the sinners to establish justice. Naim, 3. And indeed, we gave Moses the book in the past. So do not be in doubt about receiving the entirety of the book that has been revealed to you. You will receive the entirety of the book. And we made it a guide for the children of Israel. And from among them, we appointed leaders who guided by our command when they were patient. And they had firm belief in our signs, symbols, and indications. Indeed, your Lord Allah will judge between them on the day of resurrection concerning that over which they used to differ. Nečim, 30. Did it not serve as a guide for them that we destroyed many generations before them who used to roam in their dwellings? Indeed, in this are many signs and indicators. Will they not listen? Or have they not seen that we send water to the barren land, bringing forth crops with which their livestock and they themselves eat? Do they still not see? And they say, when will this judgment be if you are truthful? Say to the disbelievers, those who knowingly reject the divinity and lordship of Allah, that on the day of judgment their belief will not benefit them, and they will not be granted respite. So distance yourself from them and watch. Indeed, they are the ones being watched. Surah At-Tur, Meccan period. Verse T42. The ranks of prophethood I have given inscribed on spread out, fine parchment. All the books revealed by Allah. The preservation of Allah's sacred house, the Kaaba, from destruction by the people of the elephant, the transformation and destruction of the societies of Ad and Thamud, and the drowning of the people of Noah, the drowning of Pharaoh and his close ones, the punishment of the people of Saba with a flood disaster, and the punishment of many lands like the land of Thamud, with drought, drying up their lakes, and rivers, turning every part into a desert. It is evidence that, without a doubt, the punishment of your Lord will certainly occur, and there is nothing that can prevent it. On that day, the sky will shake violently, and the mountains will move as they walk. So woe to those who deny and are engaged in futile pursuits on that day. On that day, the deniers will be pushed into the fire of hell repeatedly. This is the fire you have been denying. So, is this also magic? Or do you not see? To the merciful's place, whether you are patient or not, it is all the same for you now. You will only receive what you have done. Nečim. 343. Indeed, those who have taken refuge under Allah's protection are in gardens, enjoying themselves, reclining on couches, in rows, with what their Lord has given them, and their Lord has protected them from the torment of hell. We have paired them, with those with large eyes. Eat and drink in good health as a reward for what you have done, and enjoy yourselves. And those who believe, and whose descendants follow them in faith, we will join their descendants with them. We did not reduce anything from their deeds. Everyone is held in pledge for what they have earned. We have abundantly provided them with fruits and meats of their desire. There, they will exchange a cup that causes neither idle talk, nor nonsense, nor loss of time, nor delay in good, nor harm, nor fault. And there will circulate among them young boys of their own, as if they were pearls well protected in their shells. They will turn to one another, asking questions. Indeed, we were once among those who were fearful within our families. Allah has favored us and protected us from the penetrating punishment. Indeed, we used to supplicate to Him before. Indeed, He is the Beneficent, the Most Merciful Himself. So, give advice. You are no longer, by the grace of your Lord, a madman, supported by soothsayers and hidden forces. Or do they say he is a poet? Are they waiting for him to be struck by the calamities of time? Say, wait. Indeed, I am with you among those who wait. Is it their intellect that command this? Or are they a rebellious people? Or do they say he has fabricated what has been revealed? In fact, they do not believe. Then let them bring a statement like it, if they are truthful. Or were they created from nothing? Or are they the creators? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? In fact, they have no certain knowledge. Or do they possess the treasures of your Lord? Or are they the ones who hold sovereignty? Or do they have a ladder by which they listen? Then let their listener bring a clear proof. Or are daughters for him and sons for you? Or do you ask them for a reward? So they are burdened with debt. Or is the unseen, the unheard, the unfelt, the past and future with them, and they are the ones writing it? Or do they want to devise a cunning plan? But those who disbelieve, those who knowingly reject Allah's divinity and lordship, are the ones who fall into their own cunning plan. Or do they have a deity other than Allah? Allah is free from what they associate with Him. And if they were to see a piece falling from the sky, they would say, "It is just a heap of clouds." So leave them until they meet their day, when they will be struck with terror and fall unconscious. On that day, their cunning plans will not benefit them in any way, and they will not be helped. Yes, indeed, for those who wrongfully associate partners and act to their own detriment, there is a punishment lesser than this. But most of them do not know. And be patient for the judgment of your Lord, for indeed you are under our watchful eyes. When you rise in a part of the night, and at the setting of the stars, purify him from all imperfections with the praise of your Lord. Come on, purify him from all imperfections. Surah Al-Mulk, Meccan period, Revelation, 10:4. Blessed is he, in whose hand is dominion, and he is over all things competent. He who created death and life to test you as to which of you is best indeed. He is the most exalted, the most powerful, the most honorable, the one who cannot be defeated, the absolute victor. He is the one who covers his servants' sins abundantly, does not punish them, and is generous in forgiveness. He is the one who created the seven heavens in harmony, one above the other. In the creation of the merciful, who is exceedingly merciful to all living beings on earth, you will not find any flaw or inconsistency. Turn your gaze. Do you see any flaw? Then turn your gaze twice more. Your gaze will return to you humbled and exhausted. And indeed, we adorned the nearest heaven with lamps and made them a means for the soothsayers' falsehoods, with the falling of meteors to earth, and the recognition of human presence in space, providing material for the emergence of devils, soothsayers, fortune-tellers, and deceivers. And we have prepared for them the torment of a blazing fire. Nečim, 300 For the disbelievers, those who knowingly reject their Lord, there is the torment of hell, and what a terrible place of return it is. When they are thrown into it, they will hear its dreadful roaring as it boils. It almost bursts with rage. Every time a group is cast into it, its keepers will ask them, "Did no warner come to you?" They will say, "Yes, a warner did come to us, but we denied him. And we said, Allah has not sent down anything. You are only in great error," we said. And they will say, "If we had listened or reasoned, we would not be among the companions of the blazing fire." Thus, they confessed their sins. So, being reduced to dust and ashes, is for the companions of the blazing fire. Nečim, 106. Indeed, for those who fear their Lord unseen, with reverence, love, and knowledge, there is forgiveness, and a great reward for them. And whether you conceal your words or proclaim them, indeed Allah knows best the innermost secrets of the hearts. Does he who created not know? Does he not know what he has created? And he is the one who is most generous, the knower of the unseen. He knows the inner aspects and hidden sides of everything well. Allah is the one who has made the earth subservient to you. So walk on its shoulders, its heights, and its beneficial places, and eat from Allah's provision. And to him is the resurrection. Star 347. The most exalted, are you secure from Allah causing you to be swallowed by the earth, and suddenly it begins to shake? Or are you secure that Allah the most exalted will not send a storm of stones upon you? Soon you will know how my warning was. And indeed, those before them also denied. So how was it? To ignore me, to attempt not to recognize me. And do they not look at the birds above them, lined up in rows and folded? None holds them up except the most merciful Allah, who is exceedingly merciful to all living beings on earth. Indeed, he is the best, seer of all things. Who are your soldiers? That will help you besides Allah, the most merciful, who is exceedingly merciful to all living beings on earth. The disbelievers, those who knowingly reject Allah's divinity and lordship, are only in delusion. Or if Allah were to withhold his provision, who would provide for you? Who is that person? In fact, they persist in rebellion and hatred. Is the one who walks face down more rightly guided, or the one who walks upright on a straight path? Say, he is the one who created you and made for you hearing, sight, and hearts. How little you give thanks for the blessings you have. Say, he is the one who has spread you out, on the earth, and to him you will be gathered. And they are those who are, if you are one of the truthful people, when will this threat come? They say, the knowledge of this threat is certainly with Allah. I am only a clear warner. When they see it approaching, the faces of those who disbelieve, those who knowingly reject Allah's divinity and lordship, will become distressed. And it will be said, this is what you were calling for. Say, have you ever considered, if Allah were to destroy me and those with me, or have mercy on us, who will protect the disbelievers, those who knowingly reject Allah's divinity and lordship from a painful punishment? Say, He is the one who created all living beings. He is the most merciful in the world. We have believed in Him and entrusted the outcome solely to Him. Soon you will know who is in clear error. Say, have you ever considered, if your water were to sink into the ground, who could bring you flowing water?